So, when you're introduced to instantaneous velocity and tangent lines and all that, you in calculus AB are introduced to the definition of a derivative, and essentially it's the power rule basically, but it comes in this form, and you could rewrite it with x2, so we could go ahead and just say that the limit, I don't like this pen, as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. That's essentially what it is rewritten with x's. But for this first function, f of x is equal to x cubed. So your f of x is x cubed. That's why we subtract minus x cubed minus f of x. And then this is going to be f of x plus h cubed x, f of x, which is x cubed. So x is going to go in here plus h cubed. And all of that's going to be over h. Essentially, a lot of this is just being good at algebra and not getting confused and then simplifying and plugging in 0 for h. But you set the three functions out, the cubed x plus h. When you multiply them all together, you get x cubed plus 2x squared h plus 2x h squared plus x h squared plus h cubed plus 2x h squared plus x squared h, and then we have minus f of x, which was x cubed, so minus x cubed all over h. You bring together like functions, and you know that it is 3x squared h plus 5x h squared plus h cubed all over h. You take the h out that it's being divided by, and you're left with 3x squared plus 5xh plus h squared, because it's just h to the power of 1 minus 1, which is 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1, so it's just 3x squared. This one's to the power of 2, so minus 1. It's just to the power of 1, which is why there's no exponent here. And then 3 minus 1 is 2, h squared. H was approaching 0, so we're going to go ahead and plug in 0 for h. And essentially that just leaves 3x squared alone. And that would be what you would get if you did the power rule for 3x squared. If we see here, the power rule states that that would be the power rule. That would be f prime of x of f of x. And if f of x was x cubed, then essentially n would be 3, so x 3 minus 1 times 3, that's just 3 times x squared, which is the same thing that we got using the definition. So yeah, doing that with these other functions would basically require you to do the same thing. You here would do x plus h to the power of 1/2 minus x to the power of 1/2, or square root of x. That's all x to the power of 1/2 is. And then the x to the negative 1 is 1 over x. So yeah, once you plug these terms in, you just go ahead and simplify and get your answer. So yeah.